What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the spot where we kick back and react to all kind of different things. Alright, so what we got going on today? We're about to get into an animal video. We're here with Casual Geographics. Our boy is back again to give us some more animal facts. This one is called When Cats Break the Rules of Nature. When cats break the rules of nature, cats are killing machines, so are we in for another wholesome video? Breaking the rules of nature? If we are, I say he's on a roll with these wholesome vids. It's really making me wonder what he's got lined up to traumatize us with once he's done with this lineup. There's been nothing but wholesome lately, and I don't know. Considering the history of his channel, it's just making me nervous. Like, what has he got in store for us? But we won't worry about that for now. We're gonna get into this and enjoy some cat videos. But before we do, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? It costs you nothing, and it keeps you up on all new videos get dropped on this channel, not to mention it gets us one step closer to our goal, trying to get to 3,500 subs by the end of the year. And also, second announcement, come February 6th. February 6th, starting every Monday from that date, starting 10 p.m., I'm going to be going live, doing live reaction requests. So mark the calendar. If you have requests that you want to throw out there, some that I may not have gotten to yet, or maybe some that's not too YouTube friendly, because I'm going to do them on Twitch where there's fewer restrictions, just go ahead and get ready, save them up, and throw them at me when we go live, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. Casual Geographics, when cats break the rules of nature. Let's go. Yep. As soon as it started, two dogs walking up, loving on a lion. Yeah, total wholesome video we're in for right here.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Sometimes all it takes is one picture going viral to completely shatter everything we thought we knew about the world.
For real.
This is one of those pictures. So the story goes, a mother tiger in California tragically lost her cubs to premature labor, and the loss left her so depressed that she would barely move and wouldn't eat at all. Worried for her well-being, zookeepers took 5 baby pigs, wrapped them in tiger skin, and like only a true mother would, the tiger adopted them all. She would nurse them, eat and sleep with them, and refuse to let them out of her sight. It was your typical Disney feel-good story that warmed the hearts of anyone who saw it. Now, here's where you have a choice. I can let you keep believing that story and just leave you with the happy ending. In which case, you should probably click off this video, drink water, hug your mother, all that good stuff. We'll see you in the next one.
Oh man, he set us up! He set us up! Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you did there. Oh man, here we go.
The rest of y'all going red pill, just remember, you chose this. So
we going red pill. You know how we do around here. I've been waiting for the red pill. I've been waiting for it.
Going red pill, just remember, you chose this. So this picture is 100% real, no Photoshop, no filter, this happened. The story I just told you behind it was completely made up. First of all, this wasn't even taken in California. It was 8,000 miles away in one of the biggest tiger hubs in the world, the Sriracha Zoo in Pattaya, Thailand. This isn't a wholesome story about a tiger taking the role of swine surrogate. It's actually one of the most unhinged experiments you've never heard of. You see, this zoo wanted to know if they could successfully rewire the nature of a tiger, and they did that by having one be raised by a pig. Yeah, they basically decided to play God with a giga-sized Garfield. I mean, this was back in 2004, but it was also 11 years after Jurassic Park. Someone should have known better. So the Sriracha Zoo had a mother pig raise a litter of tiger cubs. The tiger in the viral picture was 2-year-old Saimai, and she was actually brought up and nursed by a pig until she was 4 months old. The whole point was to see if being raised by a pork product could make an apex predator less of a life risk and more docile. And from the pictures and videos, it would seem like it worked. Until it didn't. It would take years, but eventually several claims would come out. You know, claims of animal mistreatment, exploitation, and straight up abuse. Basically, it ended up being one of those places guys would go to take a selfie with a tiger to put on Tinder. And I genuinely hope that was the only cat any of y'all ever saw. The zoo also had a bunch of hands-on stuff you could do with tigers.
Nice one. I just had to give that one a clap. Because I agree. Dudes are freaking... On top of being douchebags, this is like, in these pictures, they sedate the tigers and everything. So dudes trying to act like they're tough, like, ooh, I was next to a tiger and I took a picture. Dude, the tiger was drugged, so you get no credit for that one. Especially if you went to China to do it. They're notorious for that. Very much.
Genuinely hope that was the only cat any of y'all ever saw. The zoo also had a bunch of hands-on stuff you could do with tigers, which is probably the biggest red flag a zoo can have. If the same striped delete button that can solo a walking bicep also sits still for a stranger's selfie, start looking left, cause ain't right. So to make a long story short, if Tiger King would have came out in 2004, Joe Exotic would have been Bangkokking in Thailand. There was even an incident where 23 tigers flatlined a bird flu after being fed raw contaminated chicken. And then there's also the fact that one of the zoo owners, Samay Thamsiripong, was charged with breeding tigers without a license. It took a worldwide pandemic to do it, but eventually the zoo closed its doors July 13th, 2021. But whatever happened to Saimai and her foster pigs? Well, 16 years after this picture was taken, another video would go viral. Only this time, it was a now 19-year-old Saimai pouncing on one of the piglets, and not in a cute playing type of way. The only thing stopping Wilbur from becoming the end of Charlotte's Web was a zookeeper distracting the tiger before a bunch of small children found out where bacon comes from. That video wasn't exactly the nail in the coffin, it was more like the shovel that started the digging. What that video also proved is that you can't change nature, no matter how many sequels this franchise gets. Like take this video for example, where this polar bear went viral for seemingly petting a husky in Canada, the biggest meat eater in the world on legs, and even he can't help himself. Adorable, right? The part that didn't go viral was immediately after when the polar bear proceeded to send the dog to dog backwards by attacking and eating it, all while the dog was chained up and couldn't even run. Hey, remember, you chose the red pill. The point is, there are rules in nature, and every time we cosplay as creator and break them means one less dog, one confused tiger, and a bunch of pigs that are gonna have one hell of an identity crisis. But sometimes nature breaks rules all on its own, and all it leaves us with are questions. Kamunyak was a lioness living in the Samburu Reserve in Kenya who would become famous worldwide in 2002 for violating the #1 rule of being a lion. The lioness was seen with a young, as in not older than a week old, oryx calf. She didn't turn the calf into calories, instead she acted as his bodyguard, following it around everywhere and even defending it from other animals attempting to meal prep it. The lioness had adopted something that any other day would have just been protein. And this time humans had nothing to do with it. Tourists would flock in from all over to witness this disrespect to the natural order, and even after seeing it with their own eyes, they still didn't believe it. Kamunyak only confused rangers the more they watched her. At one point, she squared up with a group of cheetahs for looking at the oryx calf the wrong way. She would literally starve herself for the calf's sake. She couldn't go out and hunt for herself, since the little oryx calf would just wander around aimlessly instead of staying hidden in one place the way an actual lion cub would. So for the more than 2 weeks these two were together, she just didn't eat. I can only imagine what the other lions thought. This was basically like a man walking into an orphanage and then leaving with a Big Mac in a stroller. Like that's
Oh, that was good. That was a good one. Yo, but it's just like one of the earlier videos I reacted to of his where talking about the gator who had like a small animal in its mouth and it let it out and everything. And it was his friend and people still can't figure out what was going on there. I feel like if they choose to or if they want to, predators can choose to take a piece of prey and make it a friend, a baby, a companion, whatever, if it's their choice. When we try to force it and try to make it happen, that's when things eventually go south. Yeah.
time SpongeBob had an entire relationship arc with something he grills for a living. It's just one of those things like Mandy smiling or EDP foster momming a cupcake and not eating it. It just breaks the natural order. One day, Kamunyak and her little calf went to...
Oh, you're wrong for that one. Oh, you're wrong for that one. Oh, man. I gotta hear that one more time, though. I'm sorry, that was too funny.
I've had an entire relationship arc with something he grills for a living. It's just one of those things like Mandy smiling or EDP foster momming a cupcake and not eating it. It just breaks the natural order. One day, Kamunyak and her little calf went to get water, and in the short amount of time her back was turned, a male lion appeared and gave her a live demonstration of what a lion actually is. So yeah, no more baby. And the lioness that had nearly starved herself to death for it acted like any mother would after losing a cub of her own. And the rangers watching it all go down had no way of explaining it. Now, the baby oryx calf being chill with its #1 op in the first place actually isn't that crazy. There's a good chance it was probably just too young to even know what fear was. Like when a baby wildebeest was filmed playing with a hyena cub as if his family reunion wouldn't dissect and eat him alive. That is until its mother pulled up and bro remembered who he was and dipped. But a predator playing parent to prey is where rules get broken. It's something you'd expect from Disney, and like in Disney, it probably started from a family member getting murked. Kamunyak apparently had...
Probably. And imprinting on a small calf like that, I mean, we saw it happen, but it makes you wonder, did she lose a cub? And the fact that she mourned the baby after it was over and after some other lion took it out while she wasn't looking, that means she really cared. That was her baby. That was her baby. Sad, really.
cubs of her own, and a violent dispute in the pride meant she lost him, likely to a new rival male. And with as young as she was, this was likely her first litter, and after losing them so brutally and hormones still running high, she probably didn't know what else to do. So it's possible that the calf imprinting on the lioness caused a motherly instinct to override the turn you into take out and smoke you like a Marlboro instinct. At least that's just my guess, because no one thought to ask the lioness what was going through her head. And this might have been her first time, but this wouldn't be her only. This would happen not once, not twice, not even a hat trick, but Kamunyak the lioness would adopt 6 different oryx calves. Also, I feel like I should just mention, at this point she was going out of her way to follow her just so she could steal any unattended minors. And it wasn't like she just didn't realize that these weren't lions, because oftentimes she would let the newborn calf nurse from its actual mother before running her off. And in case you're curious about what happened to the rest of her foster kids, the second one was intercepted by park rangers and taken to an animal orphanage in Nairobi.
This is that story that is running off the mothers so that she could take the babies. It went from wholesome to giving that very weird, what's the name of that movie? The Hand That Rocks the Cradle? Old movie, but yeah, it definitely gives the vibes of that one. Literally chasing off the other mothers, the actual mothers, so she could take the babies and raise them on her own. Yeah. We just saw the lioness version of The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Crazy. Crazy what goes on in the wild.
The third calf actually returned to its mother, and during a nursing session pieced out with the rest of its herd, even with Kamunyak chasing after them to get her baby back. Same thing happened with the fourth, with the mother oryx managing to reunite with her baby. And I can only imagine this made her learn her lesson in the worst way possible, because she didn't let the fifth calf return to its mother, and the end game was the calf going into a permacoma due to starvation, which Kamunyak would respond to by eating the soul evacuated body. And adoption number 6 went like 3 and 4, with the kidnapped calf hightailing it back to his biomom. And remember, she would go on a hunger strike for the entire time she was looking after each one. And I'd love to tell you that this story ends with Kamunyak finally getting an actual family of her own, except she was last sighted in 2004 and no one's been able to find her since. So if this was a movie, it'd be Lion King's troubled teenage cousin. And it's not the only time this kind of thing would happen. In 2015, a film crew was focused on a herd of wildebeest along with one lioness stalking them from the grasses. Fun fact, lions will often spawn wipe their prey by attacking the ones that have just given birth. So when the lioness made her move and the mother wildebeest dipped, it looked like it was about to be a revolving door for the baby right back to the gulag. Except that's not what happened. The apex predator hesitated on what would have probably been her easiest meal in months. And the literal minutes-old wildebeest started nuzzling up to the huge cat, as if the same lion that wasn't finna take him off this world was the one that brought him in. And I don't know if it was that famous new baby smell, or if the fetus not showing any fear factory reset the lion's software, but not only did she spare him, after a little while she left, and the still wet from the womb wildebeest calf reunited with its mother. And
I feel that that one right there is like those cartoons where you see the little calf or little baby something about to get attacked. They give the baby eyes, the big old baby eyes, and the killer just can't do it. They're like looking. I feel like that's what this situation was. The lion was over here looking at him like, "Oh, I'm hungry," and he just gave that look, just like, "Don't look at me like that. I'm here to eat you. Don't look at me like that." At the end, she was like, "I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It gave me the look. I'm a sucker for the look." That's what this one feels like.
And unlike with Kamunyak, this lioness was 100% trying to catch a body, but something made her stop, and I have no idea why. At least with the calf, it's probably too young to know to run away and just saw the lion as a warm body. But an animal deciding to pretty much pardon something it's eaten hundreds of in its life is something science can't 100% explain. And before y'all say she must have felt bad for the baby, there's literally videos on YouTube of lions life-depriving pregnant animals, pulling the fetus out and eating both alive. Or I guess technically only one of them's alive. I guess.
Oh man. I know what happened there. The fetus didn't give the look. The fetus didn't know yet. It hadn't developed far enough yet.
There is a chance the lioness was trying to use the baby as bait to murk its bigger and more fulfilling mother, and some articles think it's their version of playing with their food, like a cat and mouse kind of thing. But like, that still doesn't explain how a cat that can eat 15 pounds of meat a day would lose interest in free calories that fast. And the stories just keep coming. In fact, just last year, a lioness was caught on camera looking like it was escorting a baby wildebeest calf back to its herd, with the little guy following him the way he would with his biomom. So I don't know, maybe when a lioness loses her cubs, the motherly instinct is so strong she'll project it on anything. Or maybe lions are realizing that chasing and catching their groceries is too much work, and now they're trying the factory farming strat. But a lion treating food—
Yo, wouldn't that be something? Yeah, I mean, I know it's a joke, but just imagine. Imagine 10 years from now, we see that the lions have gotten to the point to where they're basically farming at this point. They're like getting them all together, making sure that they're reproducing enough so that they have plenty of food. That'd be crazy. Now we're in a race to see which animal's gonna catch up to us first. Is it gonna be gorillas, dolphins, or lions? We'll see.
Food like family wasn't the only time a major rule of cat culture was broken.
Although, I will say one thing. I have seen one video, because he's mentioning lionesses so far. I wonder if he's going to get to it because we see a male here. But I have seen a few videos, like one of a male lion protecting a little sheep, like a baby sheep. So it's not just maternal instincts. So still trying to figure out what's causing it, you know?
I want you to take a good look at this picture. This might look like nothing special, but let me give you some background. A lion's main goal in life is to pass down his genes as much as possible to keep his bloodline alive. The catch is, whenever a rival male or males take over a pride, the first thing they do is commit severely late-term abortions on any offspring that aren't theirs. Scar actively tried to put Simba on a t-shirt was scientifically accurate, although if it was 100%, he would have wiped out Nala too.
Nala. You know, you really have no choice. One way or another, I always get what I want.
Yikes.
Well. That was a deleted scene for you. I never saw that one. Hold up. Before we read it, I need to read this real quick. Disney is pretty conscious about the type of content that they put out for families to enjoy, and sometimes things are a bit darker than they would like, which causes some scenes to be left out of the movie. In The Lion King, a scene features Scar making a dark move on Nala was left out. A dark... That's one way of putting it. Nala, the childhood best pal of Simba. King Scar's gave to him his kingdom is in complete disarray and something needs to be done to fix all his problems. That's when Scar begins to sing about how he needs a mate. Which includes the line, "My cylinders are firing with fever and you, my sweet thing, fit the part." And wow. As he sings, Scar continues to back her into a corner until there's nowhere she can go, and then he puts his front paw up near her head to pin her in. At that point, Nala slaps him and begins to chuckle Scar begins to chuckle and he feels his cheek. Oh, Nala, Nala, Nala. You know, you really have no choice. I always get what I want. Well, good call on whoever decided to say, no, we're not doing that part. Bad call for whoever actually wrote that scene. Very bad call. Wow. I never knew that about Lion King. Wow.
What I want.
Yikes. But yeah, long story short, a new stepfather usually means caskets for any remaining cubs. Which is exactly what this male did. After he and another male took over a pride, he proceeded to give every cub a welcoming gift of a pair of wings and a halo. Every cub, except for that one. That's not his kid, and he knows it. Not only was he seen sparing op DNA, he was even photographed playing with the cub. Also, a moment of silence for his actual dad. Man's just nearly lost his entire gene pool and got all his women snatched from him just to have his own chromosomes cuddling with the lion that did it. And I just know bro watching from the gulag like, ain't no way. Now,
oh, that's hilarious. Yo, but I've actually seen a documentary, not this specific one, but another one. It didn't have to do with them aggressively taking over Pride. It was a story about a male lion who was taken out by poachers. The film crew didn't actually show the poachers or anything, of course, but they were documenting the story that happened afterward. And it was with him dead, he left behind, what was it? 3 lionesses and about 2 cubs. Like only 2 of them had given birth and everything, 1 cub each. And so 2 other male lions who had just, left their original pride, their father, booted them out there of age, so go out, find a place of your own and kind of thing. 2 male lions who are brothers, and like you said, a group, if they're related, they will take over pride as a group. They came onto the territory and almost killed the kids, but the oldest of the lionesses managed to guide them away, mated with them, became pregnant, and then because I guess the way the narrator explained it, they're assuming that because the oldest of the lionesses welcomed them in without a fight and made it with them and was already pregnant, they had already felt like they asserted their dominance, so they didn't kill the cubs. Neither one of the males. They took them in. The first time the cubs tried to approach them, they almost got messed up. But then the mama stepped in. The second time they approached them, they was kind to them. And they all just became one pride together. So, yeah, it happens. Crazy, right? But it happens.
Males don't always go Casey Anthony on the children. Sometimes lionesses are able to fend off the newcomers, and sometimes the lions don't even bother with cubs that are 9 months or older, i.e. cubs past the nursing phase. But like, that's the thing. That cub is definitely young enough to get turned into a rug. And being cute with someone else's kid goes against basically everything we thought we knew about them. And it's not just lions defying nature. Male tigers usually want no parts in raising children. They might protect them, but that's it. Especially since tigers are solitary animals that have enough of a full-time job looking after themselves. But there was at least one tiger that broke this rule, and his name was P243. You see, our boy P243 had a mate, and that was P213-32.
Why are they giving them Star Wars names? Over your R2-D2 cats and everything. What's up with that? Just give them regular cat names.
I didn't come up with the names. The two were together for over 2 years, and 243 was never seen with another tigress because we love a faithful king. But his mate suddenly died, and it clearly had an effect on him. He spent hours sitting at the place his mate of many years past, and when the tigress was cremated, P243 was on a scene less than an hour later. She didn't just leave him behind, but also 4 cubs. Normally, losing a mother that young means the orphans would soon get to go see her, but P243 did what we've rarely seen a male tiger, or really any male big cat for that matter, do. He stepped up. After that, P243 would often make kills but leave the food behind for the 4 cubs who were too young to hunt for themselves. One time, the father caught a full-grown cow and left it behind without taking any for himself. And whenever the forest department would see the 4 cubs, the father would never be too far away. Obviously, there isn't a mystery as to why he did this. I mean, they were his kids. But it also managed to break what we thought were the rules of being a male tiger. Because as dark and messed up as it sounds, it would actually make more sense to just cut losses and try again with another female, instead of taking the time to raise kids that might not make it in the end when you really could just make more. Especially since 10 days after his mate died, trackers found him near another female. But the relationship didn't go anywhere and the two weren't seen together again. Meanwhile, 243 continued looking after his cubs. There were even a few reports that the tiger had started teaching his cubs how to hunt. Now, there is no way of knowing for sure the cubs make it after all that, but according to the latest update I could find, all 4 cubs are still alive, healthy, and active. Which would be great numbers even if they had a mother, but going 4 for 4 even after getting bambied, well, that's not supposed to happen. At this point,
they beat the odds. They beat the odds. But that's another one. Like, yeah, male tigers don't normally take care of their kids, but I don't feel like this is too much of a stretch, because even though this is the only recorded incident of a male tiger doing it all on his own, there's plenty of situations where male tigers, because like, oddly enough, tigers from being loners, they kind of watch out for each other. You know, there's reports about male tigers helping each other out to get a kill and then sharing the kill, or reports about one tiger getting the kill and then another tiger who had no part in the kill comes along and they just share it. No beef, no nothing. And then situations, just like you said, males will protect their cubs, but they don't get all in. And there's reports of that. There's also reports of male lions making a kill and bringing it to, I mean, not lions, tigers, male tigers making a kill and bringing it to the mom so she can feed the cubs. So it's not exactly just cut and dry as they want no part. But just like you said, whenever the cubs were seen, the father was not too far away, but he wasn't directly there. I think for the males, they're not directly involved all the time, but they have a nature of shadowing their kids. You know, shadowing the people that they mate with and everything to make sure that they're okay. If they need some food, you know, I got you, I'm looking out for you. If they need some protection, I got you, I'm looking out for you. Anything else, what you need me for, you got this, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what it seems like the nature is when you put all the reports together on what we've been seeing here.
Every breath they take is overachieving, and you can thank Mr. 243 for that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Be sure to check out my TikTok and Instagram for more consistent uploads in between videos. And if you'd like to support this channel beyond subscribing, my Patreon's also gonna be in the description. But as always, it's only if you have like extra money you're not gonna miss. Don't give anything you don't need. You watching this video all the way through and allowing me to do this for a living is already much appreciated. All in all, make sure you drink water, hug your mother, tell your father you appreciate him. If you ever see something like this on Tinder, beg his pardon, hit him with the left like Harden, and I'll see y'all
nice.
in the next one.
Just loud for no reason. Alright, that's gonna do it for that one. Very interesting stuff. He reeled us in with some wholesomeness, and then he had to scar us a little bit there. So this was more of a mixed video. A little bit of wholesome, a little bit of terror, a whole lot of truth. Alright, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Go down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. Let me know what you'd like to see me react to next. Hit that like button before you go. Share this video with everyone you know. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. Alright, so till next time, take care of yourselves. And I'm out of here.